Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Neha Khanna. Well, as the last leg of the elections approaches, we have brought you yet another edition of our Facebook poll, a poll that looks at some of the burning questions that this election season has thrown up. We're going to discuss the findings of this poll with our panel of experts. Let's first get a quick reaction from our panelists to the findings of this first set of questions that we put to the respondents. A health warning that we must issue at the start of the show. We're not claiming that this poll in any way reflects the mood of the entire nation. This simply reflects the opinion of those who chose to participate in our Facebook poll. Presumably, a lot of them are young people, media savvy, digitally savvy people who have participated in this poll and in fact given us their responses to the various questions that we put to them. All right, let me now introduce our panel. Joining me here in the studio, Deepa Sayal, social and digital media expert. Sumitra Goenka of the Center for Knowledge Sovereignty is also with us. Professor GVR Shastri, political analyst, as always joining us on the show. And we're also hoping to be joined in a moment by BJP spokesperson Neeti Jain. All right, Sumitra, if I could begin with you. You know, the first set of questions deal with chief ministers. And I find the, results quite interesting at many levels. When you ask who is the most popular Congress chief minister nationally, I am not surprised that the answer is Captain Amrinder Singh. He is leading at 59%. When you ask people who is nationally the most popular non-Congress, non-BJP chief minister, at almost 41%, Mamata Banerjee is clearly ahead in the race. That doesn't come as much of a surprise either. However, when you ask who is the most popular BJP chief minister, the answer to that is Yogi Adityanath at 77%. I would have thought that he is probably one of the most controversial chief ministers that this country has ever seen. What do you think explains his popularity, at least amongst our poll respondents?
Neha, I think this question is like who is the most popular chief minister. That means that how do people perceive, like how many times they have heard about his name, how much media coverage he is getting, his speeches, or the person's approach towards things, the comments that they make on certain issues. And thereby I feel that the polls are really reflecting as to how these people are reacting. So if you look at Mamata Banerjee, then she is in the limelight always during the elections, be it the Mahagathbandhan or anything. So everybody across the country knows her. She is in the news for whatever reasons.
You are saying that this poll seems to reflect more than anything else how much visibility and how much media attention, time and space a particular leader may have got. And Deepa, come in here. Yeah. I am not sure, while I understand the point that Sumitra is trying to make, however, I am not sure that visibility and space in the media necessarily translates into popularity. How are you reading these results?
So I'll tell you, when it comes to Honorable Shri Adityanath Yogi ji, I think he's done some fair work when it comes to, the Potsav, or when it comes to Ayodhya, and when it comes to his normal community work that he's taking on. So I think there's a lot of good work that has gone into it. But apart from that, people do rely on media in a very big way when it comes to judging, chief minister.
So do you agree with that point that Sumitra made, that these are perhaps chief ministers that are most in the news, which is why when you ask somebody a question about, who according to them is the best chief minister, then they seem to have top of mind recall. So do you think that's what it boils down to?
No, Neha, I'll tell you what has happened is social media has become so dynamic. It is such a one-touch, it's electronic medium that is created. If you don't do good work, I do not think anybody can win the laurels. You'll have to do something to be, everybody is judging you on social media today. All the polls also very, they like.
But let's face it. Let's face it. It is well known that the social media is dominated worldwide, including in India, by the right wing. GVR Shastri, come in here. Mamata Banerjee, the most popular non-Congress, non-BJP chief minister. Amrinder Singh, the most popular Congress chief minister. But Yogi Adityanath, the most popular BJP chief minister nationally. People like you may not like him, and maybe a lot of us question him about his controversial speeches and even over his track record. But it does look like at least the people participating in these polls think he's doing a great job and is a great chief minister. How do you read this?
No, Neha, I never describe people because he's a yogi or a Chandrababu or something. There are characteristics of the national leadership and the leadership. A leadership is required, a vision and a development and upliftment of the people. That is the core competency and capability and ability to address the development and upliftment of the people. There the people are going to be addressed and recognized as leaders and national leaders.
No, are you then praising him or are you questioning his track record?
No.
Where do you stand on this?
I'm not getting into that aspect. I'm just talking.
Why not?
about
Because I've just told you that according to the respondents, he is the most popular BJP chief minister. I'm asking you, how do you read these results?
You put a question, Neha. Your question itself is a...
Sir, you have to give us shorter answers. We have many more questions to go through.
Yeah, that is the reason I'm saying the question what you're placing in front of the people of the nation. They are so confused. All are incapable. In front of me, all are incapable.
Neeti Jain of the BJP also joining us on the show. Now, Neeti, let me begin with you. You know, it's not very surprising that most of the respondents thought that Narendra Modi is the best man to lead a coalition government. However, there are cynics like GVR Shastri who think he actually knows nothing about leading a coalition government. That, you know, because the BJP had a full majority in this term, things were different. But if you were to actually fall short, then Mr. Modi would find the going very tough leading a coalition. Firstly, your response to that specific criticism.
Shastri ji, we had a full majority in this government and yet NDA was an important part of the government. So even if we did not need the coalition, the BJP has taken the coalition forward in the last 5 years. So what Modi ji knows and does not know is known to the entire country. So it doesn't make sense to put criticism there. So we have taken care of the coalition and we've taken it forward and we're going to do it going forward as well. So we're still talking about NDA.
Okay, I take your point because that is something that skeptics have certainly commented on. But your quick comment on the point that people like GVR Shastri made, that if the BJP actually doesn't get a majority on its own this time and really needs its allies to form the next government, then Narendra Modi is not the right man for the job.
I think necessity teaches everyone everything. So Modi ji, of course, is a strong leader, and even the allies know that if they want to be with BJP, the voting is happening. The people's choice is Narendra Modi. So obviously
they will have to fall in line.
Yeah. So
Deepa, do you agree? Because there are some who say
yeah,
that if, and this is just a hypothesis, that if the BJP falls short, significantly short of numbers, then you could have a situation where the allies decide to flex their political muscle and they say, well, let's have a BJP-led government, but it should be led by somebody other than Narendra Modi, which is why you've had speculation about the Nitin Gadkaris and the Rajnath Singhs of the world.
That's a very hypothetical.
Of course, I said it's a hypothetical situation. Goes without saying it's hypothetical.
Yes. I have a completely U-turn when we are a part of this
Very
discussion.
quickly, Deepa.
So I agree and disagree both when it comes to these polls.
Okay.
You know, because depending on Facebook, hypothesis on the poll results is again a hypothesis that needs to be reevaluated.
Yes.
Because there are filter bubbles, there are other criteria like, confirmation biases of peers when we do or come about with these polls.
Okay.
So this dependency on these polls based on Facebook, there's another...
No, I'm not. I agree with you,
Yeah.
and I, in fact, issued a health warning at the very start of the show that we're not suggesting that this reflects the mood of the nation.
Correct.
All right. And Deepa, what do you make of the fact that when asked what should be the biggest priority of the next government in the first 100 days after the elections, at least 37% saying a clear blueprint for jobs. This is the biggest issue for the people of this country. Does this tell you something? Because, of course, one of the biggest criticisms leveled against your government by the opposition and many others is that you promised 2 crore jobs a year. None of that has been achieved. Far from it. Unemployment is at a very, very high rate and it's an alarming situation.
Of course, demonetization has impacted jobs in some way.
Okay.
But we need to have refined skill sets of jobs because, things like data analytics, things like, blockchain, IoT, everything is coming into the picture. And secondly, I'm surprised at why nobody is talking about women's safety and security. Of course, we've
asked that question in other polls. It wasn't included in this particular poll.
Sure,
But ladies and gentlemen, I'm completely out of time.
Yeah.
Thanks very much to our panel for joining us on the special show. Thanks thanks very much to the viewers for watching.
Thank you so much.